Hi, this is Michael Becker, and in this Tinderbox lesson, we're going to talk about a new feature that was released in Tinderbox 9. That feature is called taggers, and let me jump right in and show you. Okay, so I have a Tinderbox file open, and I have a few notes already in the file. I've got a product called Pocket Geek ID, and you'll see that this product has a description. It's a personal information management solution that helps people stay safe online and includes a number of capabilities. And then I have a handful of features that are related to products. And as we've talked about in lessons, you can always link different notes together and such, and do some really fascinating things with Tinderbox. But with this new capability in taggers, what that allows you to do is leveraging the natural language processing capability of your Mac OS. Tinderbox will be able to go through your text, namely this area here, and the name of your notes, and automatically tag those notes. In other words, populate the value of attributes with specific terms that you instruct Tinderbox to do when it discovers certain text. So let me show you how that works. So to be able to leverage the taggers functionality, you go to File, and you select the built-in hints capability that has been now introduced in Tinderbox 9. Now, if I open this up and you scroll down to this area called taggers, you'll see a new group here in Tinderbox. And you can go ahead and read about them and look at different existing system attributes that Eastgate has put in to support taggers. So, for example, they've got tags for natural language place, on names, organization, and then the general tags attribute. Now, these names, NL tag, NL organization, NL name, NL place, these are referring to attributes. So if I go ahead and open up using Command 1, and I go open up the document inspector, and we can go to here, and we'll look at system attributes, and if I type natural language, NL, you'll see that we've got natural language tags. And so these are just system attributes that have been placed within Tinderbox. Now, the way the tagging methodology works is that I can show you in the example here. So if you use a pound, that is a comment, and Tinderbox will ignore anything that's preferenced with a pound. But for now, let's say I go ahead and remove this. Now you'll see, here's the syntax. You have a term, aka the tag, colon, and then any other terms it's going to look for. So in other words, if Tinderbox goes through either the notes, identifies, say, the term Trotter Hall in either the text of a note or in the name of a note, it will tag that note with the term Swarthmore College. So let me go ahead and show you that as an example. And so I'm going to go here and I'll say new note. And let's go ahead and take a look just to make sure I can spell it right. So it's Trotter Hall. And I'm going to grab that one here. And I'm going to paste the term Trotter Hall in the term. And now what we're going to do now is also display the natural language places attribute. Okay. Now that we've edited that note, we'll go through and we'll give Tinderbox time to process that. Now, what Tinderbox is doing is in the back end, very slowly going through all of the notes and reading them. So I've got a lot open up on my computer right now, and it could take time for Tinderbox to discover that Trotter Hall is part of natural places. Now, sometimes to fast track that, all I need to do is close the file, and if I reopen it, Tinderbox will also kind of do the processing at the time of launching the file. So if we go ahead here, open it up, okay, and you'll see here that Swarthmore College has now been automatically tagged to this note based using the tagger capability. So you can leverage the existing attributes that are inherent within the Tinderbox system to be able to automatically tag notes. And again, the value for that is you can run agents and run action code and run any number of different Tinderbox processes against these values once they're placed within your attributes. Now, you can also create user-generated attributes to do this. So for example, let's say I'm going to go ahead here, and I'll go to user, and I will create a new user-generated attribute. And I will call this one, say, natural language category. Okay, and we'll make it a set. Okay, so I've just created a new user-generated attribute called natural language category, and it can be anything you want. Even if I, just to show you as an example, let's say I don't even want to use the word natural language, I can just call it category. Again, it's whatever you want it to be. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm now going to say category. Right. So what Tinderbox is now going to start doing is, since category, this note here named category is in the taggers directory, and there is an attribute called category, what Tinderbox is going to do is now take over, make this category attribute read only, and allow taggers to automatically start populating information in that solution. So let's say, for example, I have some tags that I want to now automatically tag some of my other notes with terminology in categories. So I'm going to go paste in some language here. So let's say, for example, I want to type in, and I want to say cybersecurity. So if you see any notes that include the term antivirus or anti-malware, or let's say tracker manager, okay, I want you to tag that note as cybersecurity. What I also want, but you can also do multi-line tagging within it in a particular note here. So let's say now I want to say, for this one, I'm going to say traditional identity protection, okay, colon. And again, the syntax then is anything you want to tag. So let's say identity insurance. Let's say restoration service, and how about just dark web? So you see, I've got different terminology here: cybersecurity, traditional identity protection. And now what Tinderbox is going to do is it's going to start going through all of the notes within the file and looking for these terms: antivirus, anti-malware, tracker manager. It's going to looking for the terms of identity insurance, restoration services, and dark web. If it finds those terms in the text of a note or in the name of the note, it will automatically populate the words cybersecurity or traditional identity protection into the category set. So let's go see and take a look at some of these notes. So see here, I have a note called antivirus, and antivirus is in the name of that note. And let's go ahead and display our category attribute that we've created. Okay, so it hasn't found it yet, and that's not surprising. So keep this in mind. The tagging functionality is a very low priority process within Tinderbox, because what we don't want to do is overly slow down your file and make it non-functional. So what happens is this is just constantly running in the background as you go through that process. While I'm waiting for it to catch up with my computer, let me show you this as a cute little trick too, by the way. So if I go ahead and hit display attributes, okay, I do this a lot too when I haven't done a prototype on notes. You'll see here I can quickly select all of these notes, type in the name of the attribute that I want to display on all of them, and hit apply. And so by doing that, I've essentially now, using the quick step functionality, told Tinderbox to apply that to all the notes. Now, a handful of ways that you can make Tinderbox kind of force in the processing of the natural language processing. What will trigger Tinderbox to do that is changing the text. So if I change some text here, this is now triggering to Tinderbox. Oh, this is a note that has changed. I should start evaluating that. And so that's one method of doing that. Again, the other method of doing that, as we showed you before, is to kind of fast track the process by force quitting the file and then reopening it. Okay, and so you can see here that Tinderbox has automatically tagged these notes with traditional identity protection because it matched those terminology. Now you'll notice here though that identity restoration services did not get tagged, And the reason being is if I scroll down here, you'll see I spelled it wrong. So we can go ahead and fix that. Okay, and then when Tinderbox has gone through the process, it will eventually go through and properly tag that note. Now let's go up here and take a look at this this item here, Pocket Geek ID, and you'll see here in the name, none of the terms that we related to were tagged. But if I go ahead and type in category, you'll see that Pocket Geek ID got tagged with cybersecurity because it matched some of the terms like tracker manager in the solution. Now also, if we add identity insurance here, and you'll see that now because I added identity insurance to the terminology of Pocket Geek ID, it has now also tagged it as traditional identity protection. So that's the tagger functionality, and it can be incredibly useful, especially if you have very large files and you want to be able to kind of help discover and analyze and interact with your notes. And let me just show you the kind of the last action on that. So let's say I'm going to go up here and create an agent. And I'm going to say, give me any of the files that have category .I contains, let's say, cybersecurity. Okay, and we hit enter. And you'll see now, let's move that up here so we get it out of the way. And you'll see here are all the notes that have the category cybersecurity. And you'll notice that they all have been effectively and properly tagged. So that's a pretty exciting capability that is now new in Tinderbox. And I hope you get a lot of value out of being able to use the tagger functionality. Thank you very much. Bye. And please don't forget to like and or subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Bye-bye.